53% of American companies in Ukraine suffered as a result of Russian strikes. The president of the American Chamber of Commerce in Ukraine, Andrey Hunder, said on Radio Liberty. According to him, the American Chamber of Commerce has appealed to official Washington with a request to continue providing military assistance to Ukraine in order to protect Ukrainians and American companies operating in Ukraine. Here they are beating our people. They are beating American business. 53% of our companies suffered damage because missiles flew into enterprises, offices, factories. And that is why we are saying, we are asking President Trump, the American administration, the White House, continue to provide protection to protect Ukraine, Ukrainians, and protect the business that is working here in Ukraine today. Hunder said on air at Freedom Live. He pointed out that 60% of the American Chamber of Commerce member companies lost employees during the war. We say, look, this is the voice of American business, which is here today in the center of Kyiv, which operates in Ukraine. The situation is this. We are here during the shelling and we feel everything. And this is a big damage that takes the lives of Ukrainians. Among the companies members of the American Chamber of Commerce, 60% of them have had employees die during this war. We convey this message, he says. Andrey Hunder added that he had already had a meeting during which the continuation of military aid to Ukraine was discussed. He did not specify with whom this meeting was held. The president of the American Chamber of Commerce in Ukraine expressed hope that the US administration will listen to the voice of business. According to him, of the 600 American companies that are members of the chamber, 90% continue to operate in Ukraine. On July the 2nd, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski held a meeting with representatives of American companies and entrepreneurs, members of the American Chamber of Commerce. The president noted that he counts on the voice of American business in relations with the United States because American systems in Ukraine protect not only the lives of people but also businesses. He also emphasized the importance of cooperation between the countries.
A drone attack took place in the city of Cheboksary, Chuvashia, Russia. Local Telegram channels reported this. Ukrainian kamikaze drones struck the Progress plant, which produces antennas for the Russian army. As a result of the strike, an explosion and fire occurred at the plant. The moment the drone struck the plant building and exploded was filmed by local residents and shared on Telegram channels. The footage also shows one of the drones being shot down. There is no information about casualties. The Comet antennas produced by the plant protect drones used by the Russian military from electronic warfare equipment. It should be noted that the city of Cheboksary is located approximately 1,200 kilometers from the border with Ukraine.
Сейчас Чебоксаров уебет нахуй.
Уебет,
Это дрон, реально! Реально? Да, это дрон!
Я бля буду!
Это дрон!
Дрон это, блядь.
Украинский, это как называется, сука, это?
Бля!
Он все ниже.
Она в Чебоксары летит сейчас. Она в Чеба летит сейчас.
Это дрон!
Several explosions rocked the temporarily occupied city of Kharkiv in Donetsk region of Ukraine, with local reports pointing to a hit on a Russian ammunition depot. Multiple secondary detonations followed, indicating the likely destruction of stored munitions. The target was successfully hit. A powerful secondary detonation was recorded, the nature of which indicates explosions of anti-aircraft guided missiles and ammunition for multiple launch rocket systems. The results of the fire damage are being clarified, the General Staff of the Armed Forces says. Explosions were heard in the temporarily occupied city of Luhansk and fires broke out at several facilities after drone strikes. TASS, a Kremlin-aligned Russian state-owned news outlet, citing the occupying authorities of the so-called Luhansk People's Republic, stated that more than 20 drones had flown over Luhansk on July 2. Andrey Kovalenko, head of the Ukrainian Center for Countering Disinformation, said that Russian logistics are burning in the temporarily occupied city of Luhansk. The Ukrainian military command did not comment on the explosions. Ukrainska Pravda is currently unable to independently verify this information. On the night of July 3, Ukraine struck JSC Energia in Lipetsk region, which is engaged in the serial production of batteries and accumulators for universal planning and correction modules. This is a Russian development that turns conventional free-falling aviation bombs into gliding aviation bombs with increased accuracy and range. The operation was carried out by the Unmanned Systems Force in cooperation with other components of the defense forces. This military-industrial complex enterprise also produces batteries and accumulators for the Iskander-M operational tactical missile systems, the Kh-35UC-based cruise missiles, and energy modules for specialized systems. On July 4, units of the Unmanned Systems Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, in cooperation with other components of the defense forces, struck the JSC Federal Scientific and Production Center Research Institute of Applied Chemistry. The Institute of Chemistry is located in the Moscow region. As reported by the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the enterprise currently carries out, in particular, the production of thermobaric warheads for Shahid-type UAVs, and is an important link in the armed aggression of the Russian Federation against Ukraine. Our weapons have confirmed that they have directly hit the target. A fire and heavy smoke have been recorded in the area of the facility. The results of the strike are being clarified, the General Staff noted. It is noted that the defense forces continue to take all measures to undermine the enemy's ability to carry out air strikes on Ukraine and force Russia to stop armed aggression against Ukraine.